Vonnywave Network.
Hello, all you indie darlings out there. Welcome to the first episode of my new brainchild, Vonnywave Network. My name is Vonny, the VTuber who yaps about graps. My vision for this show is to ultimately create a variety show of sorts and not just be a place for me to talk wrestling and news and things of that nature. I want to use this as an excuse to just talk wrestling on my terms, about the things I want to talk about, and highlight the random cool stuff that I see that deserves a platform and a spotlight. If you find yourself liking this content or even just want to support me so I can keep pushing this wrestling agenda, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get into some cool shit that I done seen. Listen, I'll be the first to tell you that I am not the most knowledgeable person when it comes to every facet of wrestling. I'm learning just like everybody else. But I've been getting more into Japanese wrestling and I love Starlight Kid. Starlight Kid is probably going to end up being my favorite current wrestler from all her matches that I've been watching. Like, she just won the Wonder of Stardom Championship. She defeated Natsupoi at Dream Queendom 2024. And as I'm doing my Googles on this, I'm understanding this to be the second highest title in Stardom, right behind the World Championship. I watched that match in full and they were going crazy. The whole pay-per-view was gas-packed, but this match had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. Look at this suplex, bro. Jesus Christ. Congratulations to SLK for the victory, and I'm wishing a healthy, triumphant reign with that title, fully showing the world that she's one of the best in the business at only 23 years of age. I'm thoroughly excited to keep following Japanese wrestling and learning more about the ins and outs of it, so if you're a fan, please feel free to shoot me all the recommendations you have for matches, bro. Side note, I think I want to be one of the newest members of the Hate Fan Club. They gotta be one of the coolest factions out right now, G. And I literally have the word hate in my name. Please adopt me. WWE Vault's YouTube channel has been making waves lately in their content, especially since we finally got the Tajiri versus Triple H match that everybody was talking about, saying it was a banger. Spoiler alert, it was. As I was on the page binging content, I saw they had a video of one of my GOATs, Jeff Hardy. I went through all the matches that led to his first WWE title victory, and in watching that video, there was a lot that I really didn't remember. I'm like, the whole stretch to get to Armageddon where he won the title, he had a clean victory over The Undertaker. They post full segments, backstories, documents, and a plethora of other items that we never really get to see or really didn't realize that we forgot about, but now we get to experience all over again. They get a major thumbs up from me, and I definitely went ahead and subscribed. It's cool being able to relive all this stuff over again and to learn more about all these other facets of WWE. 10 out of 10 would definitely recommend. I don't got much to say about this one, but this clip of Maki Ito stunning Pokotan, hilarious. You look at this and you tell me Stone Cold has a better stunner. I think not. I want to take the time to talk about some of the recent wrestling shows that I've been to in the past month or two. I go to a bunch of shows and I collect all these clips, these pics, and I never end up using them, so I'm gonna do it. In December, ETU Wrestling hosted their highly anticipated show Dial It Up live at the Mecca in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Fun fact, I actually sponsored one of the competitors on this event. Shout out Jay Bougie for an incredible showing in that fatal 4-way match he had. Bitch ass bitch, shut up bitch. And I was late to that match live because New Jersey traffic, the literal embodiment of two shitty ass cheeks. But I did end up watching that match again on IWTV's website, which I implore you to do the same. Shameless plug. I made it in time for the rest of the card, and I promise you, it was phenomenal graps, bro. One thing I'ma always do is invest in a second row seat so I can watch without my life being in that much danger. And that card did not disappoint. You had matches like Contra Unit versus Gay Best Friends, Desmond Cole versus Mike Santana, Marcus Mathers versus Brandon Kirk, just to name a few. And that crowd was absolutely rocking, by the way. They unveiled that beautiful ETU Atlantic Tag Team Championships. They plan on hosting a tournament to crown the inaugural champions at the upcoming show Tidal Wave, which is going to be this March right back at the Mecca. You better bet them in there too. One thing about ETU is that they always gonna set the standard for what an indie show looks like, especially when you want to rise. So you better be prepared to expect the unexpected. So, I've never been to a blood sport before. I've heard about it, but I've never actually been. And months ago, I saw that they was having one at the White Eagle Hall here in Jersey City, and I had to do it. I had no idea what to expect from Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 12 going into it, but leaving out of it, I had no idea how I'd gone this long without attending one. Bro, they mixed elements of wrestling, MMA, shoot style fights all together. They was in that ring beating the shit out of each other, bro. It was bonkers. You want to talk about stacked cards? That show had names like Marina Shafir, Josh Alexander, Masha Slamovich, Charlie Dempsey. Bro, it was so fire that Mox was in the building supporting Marina for this. And I also didn't notice until after the fact, but Mina Shirakawa was in the function, bro. The stars was out. The coolest part was being able to see Sumi Sakai face WWE's Carmen Petrovic in one of Sumi's last matches on her retirement tour. With the main event being Josh Barnett versus MVP in an actual banger, I want to take the time to show this one clip to emphasize how locked in the crowd was. Lastly for this segment, let's talk about the recent Defy and Progress Wrestling collab show in NYC. Fair warning, it was gas. You missed out if you didn't pop up, bro. Like, I left early for work to come see this. I'll be the first to say that I avoid NYC at any cost, with that shit being a cash grab, but this was something that I refused to miss. The card was so cool and the crowd was hot, bro. They was there to see some amazing graps and it definitely delivered. My number one reason for going to see this show live was that I was able to see UK's wrestling sensation Rio. I've been a fan of Rio for a short time, but every single match I've seen of her live, banger. And if you don't believe me, go watch her match against Leon Slater, one of the greatest indie matches I've ever seen in my life. And I'm gonna dive into that on another video. Her match against the real deal Zeta Steel was the business. Props to Zeta Steel as well, showing us that ain't a coincidence that she in these streets with that WWE ID. Also, I want to talk about this being one of the first times I saw Man Like Dereiss live. 0121. Man Like Dereiss is a fucking star. I don't care what nobody say. That man is a walking cash cow with how that boy electrifies the crowd. He had the crowd in the palm of his hands, G. His moveset was fire. 0121. His ability to connect with the crowd is incredible, bro. Like, in an industry where companies seek to build stars, Man Like Dereiss would be the most pro-ready wrestler I've seen in a long time. And also, if you haven't picked up on it already, his catchphrase, infectious. 01. Being a content creator in wrestling, it would be grossly irresponsible to not talk about the monumental first night of WWE Raw on Netflix. Everybody done talked about this shit already, so I'm not coming with any new groundbreaking insight, but I do have some quick things I want to point out. First and foremost, we got moving match graphics, boy. Like, let's go. That Netflix bag is very different because that production value that night was insane. The stars was out. I'm so glad that the celebs is outside for this too. And this is coming from a nigga who loves to act holier than thou in my head. I've been telling folks that it's cool to be a wrestling fan for the longest, so to see this live right now, chef's kiss. I'm very proud to say that my only fandom I'm actually ashamed of is the New York Jets. Also, Hulk Hogan got his ass booed.
Yes.
The only thing in retrospect that stands out, like, is actually insane to me is, like, it's the fact that there were only 4 matches in one night. Like, bro, for a 3-hour show, they skated with giving us only 4 matches, and all of them bitches was 1v1s. We ain't get no tag match, we ain't get no new wrestler debut. I don't know why I thought we was going to get the women's IC title match that night for some reason, but it is what it is. Even with all that, that episode was gas, man. No pun intended. Being the chief of content for one of NWA's premier wrestling territories, it's only right that I dedicate a segment to talk about what's going on in the world of Exodus Pro Wrestling. On January 18th, 2025 in Cleveland, Ohio, at the Trelawn Music Hall, Exodus Pro Wrestling hosts their highly anticipated event, Begin Again, at 6:05 p.m. Eastern. And let me tell you, there's going to be bangers on this card. You have the Unchained King Brandon Day and Towel Boy facing facing Caesar Cristiano Argento and a partner of his choosing in a tag team match. You got Carson Drake accompanied by Aaron Stevens defending his NWA World Television Championship against Lord Crew. No rules to hold back the slime balls when they face Man Bun Jesus and Sam Beal in a Beal Room brawl. That's not even accounting the fact that we got matches from the amazing competitors like Maya World, NWA Exodus Tag Champs TME, NWA Exodus Women's Champion Tiffany Nieves. That card finna be stacked. The main event for that NWA Midwest Championship features Dante Casanova seeking to finally dethrone the GOD of CLE, Pretty Boy Smooth. Will we be looking at a new champ at the end of the night, or will the purple reign continue? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Nah, I'm just kidding. But make sure you pop out if you're in the Cleveland area. If you're not in the Cleveland area and want to see this, make sure you hit NWA up and let them know you want to see Exodus Pro live on their YouTube channel. Exodus did amazing numbers those last 2 shows, so hit them up and ask them to perform a hat trick. Also, just make sure you subscribe to NWA's YouTube in the first place so you can stay up to date on all the current territories leading the charge. Since 2024 just came to an end and we're here reflecting on the prior year, I figured a good segment for this show today would be to spotlight 5 of the coolest things that happened to me. Honorable mention: sitting near Julia and being on NXT. There's really not much substance to this one. I was at NXT Stand and Deliver last year and I got to witness Julia in all her greatness when she debuted in the crowd watching Roxanne Perez versus Lyra Valkyria for the NXT Women's title. Julia and Regal were in the crowd and the place went bonkers, bro. I saw the opportunity to be on WWE camera and I went for it. I regret nothing. Also, there was a big ass Knuckles too. Shit was lit. Meeting all these indie wrestlers. WrestleMania weekend kickstarted me going hard with content. I made it a mission to connect with all the indie wrestlers I could, and this actually kickstarted me getting my mask signed by indie wrestlers as well. Initially, I was at WWE World trying to get Finn Balor to sign my mask, but by the time I got near the front, they cut. Bro, I was stressed. To this day, meeting Finn is on my bucket list. It's gotta happen. But that missed meeting allowed me to pivot and have a better idea of getting indie wrestlers to sign it. So I got to meet some really cool wrestlers over the span of this year. People like Jada Stone, Dulce Tormenta, Maki Ito, Zilla Fatu, Kylie Ray, Kushida. It was a lot of people I got to meet this year and a lot more I plan on meeting this 2025. Leaning into indie highlight videos and seeing big names appreciated. One of the main things I started doing more consistently was making highlight videos for indie wrestlers in order for them to get really more push and promotion for their stuff. A lot of times I see online all of these people making, highlight reels for wrestlers who are already known, already prominent, but what about the ones who are trying to make a name for themselves and they need those highlight reels in order to get moving and grooving? It's beautiful to be able to get them those videos so that they have content to push. The crazier thing about it, however, is just how much of a network this wrestling industry is. I'll give a video to one person and then all of a sudden I'll see somebody like Red Velvet randomly like this post. I've seen Lee Moriarty like a post that I made. I seen Davari like a post that I made. It was some really cool names out there that was like liking these reels and stuff, and I know obviously it's because it's for the wrestler itself, but being able to be a part of that and them getting that like and insight, like it told me already, all right, well, I'm on the right trajectory and I can stand toe to toe with a lot of these creators out here as well. And that also leads to my next point: joining Exodus Pro Wrestling and making content for them. One of the coolest things that happened to me in 2024 was being brought on as chief of content for Exodus Pro Wrestling. I'm letting you know now, right on wax, this don't happen without my dog Pretty Boy Smooth vouching for me. PB is my guy and he's forever gonna be good in my book for this one, bro. Being able to be vouched for in that capacity and being able to have conversations with people in the industry and they actually respect your insight and skill set, not only is it a breath of fresh air, but it's something I would never take for granted. Like, I've already been able to work on some cool videos for them already, but 2025 I plan on going crazy with the content. Prepare to see that brand everywhere if I got something to say about it. If it ain't Exodus, it can't stand next to us. A couple of my raps being noticed and appreciated by wrestlers. Alright, so I'm kinda cheating here since this started in like December 2023. But it's my show, I do what I want, fuck you. But if you've been following me for a while now, you know I've made music for years. And one random day I was listening to wrestling music and thought about randomly doing like a quick 1-minute rap over it for some content purposes. The two that actually got heard by their respective wrestlers were my ones over Trick Williamstein. What? locked in, feeling in and out, she ain't know I won't settle. Up in the stakes, I ain't never been pumping the brakes on my foot on the pedal. Bout it, they can't live without it. Ladies flock when I whip out the bezel. Look at the wrist and the chain in my waist, boy, I'm feeling like Rocco, I grip heavy metal. Yeah. And the one I did over Carmen Petrovic's theme. I don't give a damn about the opposition lurking. I'ma cut about the rest, make sure that everybody hurting. Baby, I'm the real deal. I embody real skill. You looking like a real meal. I X them out, but I ain't talking scissor when I'm cutting up. Boy, I be on my Kill Bill. My pen is Sorry Hanzo. I be gripping on that real steel. I don't do these that often, but I do want to keep doing some sporadically just because. And also, shameless plug, I have an album coming very, very, very soon called Vonny in the Bank, inspired by wrestling. And I promise you it's finna be gas. Be on the lookout for that. Lastly, and easily the most important piece of the year was that I finally began doing the work and taking the steps to feel more comfortable in this space and with myself. Just to peel back the mask a little bit. Get it? See what I did there? I did a lot of things that are definitely out of my comfort zone, and it felt great. From putting myself out there to talk to these indie wrestlers, to feeling comfortable presenting content to promotions. Normally, I would not be able to do this without feeling absolutely cringe and feeling like an imposter. Even something as simple as wearing my mask in public. I don't think y'all realize the level of worry I had doing that in the first place. Like, I had people I work with, people who knew me prior to all of this, family, a bunch of folks who now have to see me wear this shit on social media. And while a lot of people joke about it, talking about, hey, my page is a BDSM type beat, I get a lot of support from people too. Like, I'll never forget the time that I actually wore it in a function. I was at the DPW show at White Eagle Hall, and I was shook to put it on. I put it on while I was sitting in my seat, and it was this whole wave of anxiety to the point where I had to go take a piss to calm down. There were literally like 3 people between the walk there, the piss, and then the walk back who complimented me, asking me about the mask and everything. It was no judgment, it was nothing but vibes, love. That was the moment I knew I needed to stop being a bitch. So going forward, if you see a black man with a black mask on in a wrestling event, it's a solid chance it's me. Come and say hi. Like, let's connect, let's get to know each other. And if it's not me, it's probably somebody who finna line your ass up. And I advise you to get the fuck out of there. Alright, so boom. For this episode of Vonnywave Network, I'm electing Joseph Alexander versus Matt Mikowski for ETU Dial It Up as the indie match you gotta check out. The year is 2024. Joseph and Matt, they was out there fighting like 2 badass kids fighting over the N64 controller. Until this nigga Matt got hit with a whole seismic toss like they playing real life Pokemon. But Matt Mikowski ain't no bitch, bro. Look at that seamless grapple, transitioned into an arm lock, into a rear naked choke. My boy was in that bitch moving like an octopus. Joseph Alexander just as shifty though, you gotta give him his props. Another earth slam led to Mikowski saying fuck nah as he started walking outside the ring. This nigga keep turtle heading like a 30-minute drive home from Chipotle. I'm in the function confuzzled, bro. I'm perplexed at this chain of events. Matt Mikowski was running from the beef like this was a net video girl scene, bro. Tell me why this nigga Joe is moving like, if I was a bad bitch, I wanna fuck me too. Joe thought he was headed to go do something when really he was headed to the ER. Had that nigga on the floor breakdancing like a dog with fleas. Matt was throwing hands on the side of the ring. When Mikowski missed that kick and started kicking the post to establish dominance, that's when I knew bro wasn't right in the head. Tossed that man in the ring, rolled in, and then transitioned it into another chokehold. Bro is different. At this point, that boy arm getting worked to hell and it looked like it's finna be over with. He suplexed him into an arm lock, into a pin. But Joe wasn't finna go down without a fight. He started spamming that comeback like it was 2K and he started getting shifty in the ring. This running knee in the turnbuckle was sick, leading to an explosive suplex. And one thing Vonny Vaughn gonna go crazy for, a snap German suplex every single time. Son, ain't no way he turned a sit-down powerbomb into an armbar that quick. This match is absolutely incredible. Look at this nigga, bro. Come on, put up your dukes. Let me at him. I'll mobilize him. These niggas started slapboxing like they was playing patty cake. Joey tried to put him down with that kick to the head, but Matt Mikowski said, alright, catch this German suplex armbar. That boy got the tapping real quick. Match is over. Check this match out on IWTV, boy. I promise you it's worth the watch. And there you have it. This is my first episode of Vonnywave Network. Just like everything in my life, this is a work in progress, but this was fun. You enjoyed it, right? There'd be a lot of ways we could spin this, but I'm likely gonna do this on a monthly basis. Like, I like the monthly format to let things build, and also just so I don't burn out. Y'all finna get hella clips of this one episode for so many ways. Tell me how you feeling about this. Like, tell me what you want to see covered on the show. Tell me which indie wrestlers I need to be checking out. And who do I need to interact with, because I definitely want to interview more people. As always, make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, turn them notifications on too so you can know when a real nigga dropped the video. We'll see you the next month with another episode. Go wash your face.